Welcome back to Cardinal Gym on the campus of Trinity Valley Community College in Athens, Texas. We have one game down, one game to go. In the women's game tonight, the second-ranked and unbeaten Lady Cardinals scored a 115-56 victory over Panola College. And next up is the men's game when the Cardinals, who are 13-3 on the season and 2-3 in the conference, will try to get another home conference win as they take on the Panola Ponies. The Ponies have a 13-3 record as well, but the Ponies are 3-2 in conference play. And I'm joined again by Jason Larson, the sports editor of the Athens Daily Review. And Jason, the Cardinals are 2-3. They've been ranked as high as number 7 in the nation this year, but they've really stumbled on the road in conference play.
Yeah, that's a tough way to start conference. The saving grace is that it's still early in conference, but those three losses, 13-3 looks really good, but it was enough to knock them right out of the top 25 now. So I know that if you talk to Pat Smith or Guy Furr, the coaches for Trinity Valley, they would tell you we don't care about the rankings. We could care less. It's nice, but they're not playing for a ranking. They're playing for a spot in the regional tournament and then playing for obviously a spot in the national tournament. So the biggest thing tonight, the most important thing, is to be focused on getting a win here. And of course, you can see the conference standings now here. They're about number 5 right there. You see them 13. Of course, they're 13-3. It says they're 13-2 and
2-3 in the conference.
That's right.
Yeah.
So they've got a good ways to go, and of course, as we talked about in the first broadcast with the Lady Cardinals, you want to take care of these home games.
And you look at what's just ahead for the Cardinals. If you look at the standings, Jason, of course, they've got Panola here tonight. But then Saturday, they're at Jacksonville, a 13-3 Jacksonville team. And the next Wednesday, they're at home against San Jacinto, 15-1.
Yeah,
so it's a tough stretch of games right
here.
and
there's nothing you can do about the past, but that's why you hate to start off the conference play the way they did. Of course, they got the win against Tyler and then dropped the one to Paris. But, that's just the way it is now, and they've got to recover, and they're going to have a tough couple of games here in the next week.
Look at today's schedule, Jason. Tonight's games that are going on, other than this one, you got Lee at Glenn. That Lon Morris Angelina game should be a good game. You'd think Navarro wouldn't have much trouble at Bossier Parish, most likely. Parish Kilgore, that's a good game. And then San Jacinto and Jacksonville. Jacksonville, until they lost the other night to Lon Morris, had been averaging right at 100 points a game.
Yeah.
And they were held to 67 against Lon Morris. So you can look, if we can look at the Cardinal game-by-game results, you can take a look at how the Cardinals have gotten to the point we are right now. Well, they started off and just knocked out those 10 straight wins to open the season and became number 7 ranked in the nation. Then they stumbled on the road at Kilgore, on the road to Navarro, bounced back with non-conference wins over Ranger and El Centro, then got a really tough and good win over Tyler here last week, 67-55, and then went on the road Saturday and lost 58-47 to Paris, a game in which they only had 15 points at halftime.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. It kind of make you double take when you saw that halftime score. And they did a good job getting back into that game. As I recall, I think that game was tied at 29 at one point in the second half. Paris has got a lot of firepower and traditionally has been a real strong team. So, again, you just can't say enough how big this game is and how every game is. I mean, I hate cliches, but it's every game is going to be a big game from here on out, and you got to try to win as many as you can, because look at the situation they're in now, where they're 2-3 in conference, and they've got this one tonight, and then they got a tough Jacksonville road game, and then they got San Jac here. So you could easily be 2-5 or turn this thing around and be 4-3.
And the thing about it is 12 teams make the postseason tournament, but the top 4 get first-round byes, and that is huge, as we saw last year.
Yeah.
If you get that first night off where everybody's playing, that is just huge at the regional tournament.
Yeah, you bet.
Well, we're looking forward. We're about 2 minutes away from getting this one underway. The Cardinals aren't as big as some of the teams Pat Smith has had in his 5 years here at Trinity Valley, but they are far more athletic and have far more depth at the scoring, and that's something that I know Pat and Guy Furr, his assistant coach, were looking for out on the recruiting trail, and they've been really disappointed in their road losses. I know that much because the thing about the road losses, Jason, if you look at them, I think the common thread has been the lack of scoring. I mean, that's when they've had their lowest scoring games have been on the road. Yeah,
and it's kind of the befuddling thing when you have so many guys that can score. You've got the guys like Dee Scarver and Aaron Gilstrap, and you just got all kinds of guys that can do some scoring there. And, so when you're having a hard time scoring, it's kind of like, what's going on? What's the deal? So, again, you've got a little time to work it out, but you're going to have to work it out on the fly.
Well, the nice thing about this, Panola and Trinity Valley have usually always played pretty good games, really close games, and I don't know, Jason, I just got this feeling that tonight might be one of those track meet type of games. Now, I say that, and both teams will have to be in the 20s at halftime, and you're going to look at me and say, so much for a track meet.
I'll get up and walk away.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Minute and a half left in warm-ups, and we'll be underway here from Cardinal Gym. Hope you were with us earlier when the Lady Cardinals scored a 115-56 win to run their record to 18-0, 6-0 in the conference. As we mentioned earlier, also, it's been cold here in Athens and Henderson County this week, and hopefully by the weekend we're going to be up into the 50s, but tomorrow we'll probably have another day in the 30s. And it's a great time to be at Trinity Valley, as we mentioned, because we have a new three-store residence hall going up just across the road here from Cardinal Gym, and that's going to really add to the campus, and just a lot of good things happening here at the college. And, of course, next week we have the games against San Jacinto on Wednesday at 5:30 and 7:30. I anticipate a much bigger crowd just because the students will be back on campus with classes resuming on Tuesday.
Yeah, but nice crowd here tonight. You know, a lot of people have stayed for that second game, the second game here tonight. And, of course, it's any game here is going to draw a decent little crowd. And, of course, like you said, you don't even have all the kids back on campus yet, so not a bad crowd.
Well, the nice thing about Region 14 basketball, you get bang for your buck when you go to a game. I mean, you really
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Cardinal Gym at Trinity Valley for tonight's game featuring the Panola Ponies and your Trinity Valley Cardinals.
Step aside for that.
At this time, would you please rise for the playing of our national anthem?
Starting lineups, and we'll be underway here in this Region 14 conference game between two teams that are 13.
Now your starting lineup for the Panola Ponies. At number 4, Nick Hansberry, a 6'3" sophomore from Little Rock, Arkansas. Number 11, Diarve Johnson, 6'2" sophomore from Fort Worth, Texas.
Johnson averaging 10.6.
Number 15, Kenny Rhymes, 6'4", a sophomore from Chicago, Illinois. Number 24, Charlton Jones, 6'1", sophomore from Houston, Texas.
10.5 points a game.
And number 30, Kenny Edwards, 6'4", sophomore from Indianapolis,
Kenny
Indiana.
Edwards is averaging 11.6 a game and 7.8 rebounds a game. He'll be the top inside rebounder.
And now for your Trinity Valley Cardinals. Number 3, Darius Gatson, a 5'9" sophomore from Houston, Texas.
Been a steady player.
Number 23, D.D. Scarver, a 6'4" freshman from Birmingham, Alabama. Number 34, Martez Walker, a 6'4" sophomore from Los Angeles, California. Number 40, Demario Hines, 6'8" sophomore from Cleveland, Ohio. Number 55, Daniel Iumbe, 6'1" freshman from Mansfield, Texas. Your Cardinals are coached by head coach Pat Smith, assistant coaches Guy Furr and Andre Bell, director of basketball operations Robert Amos.
We are bringing it to you here on the Cardinal Sports Network. Again, if you want to reach us by email, you can do so by csn@tvcc.edu. Love to hear from you. Let us know where you're watching from tonight along the way. I know we have many of these young men's families and friends back home that can't be here in Athens that are watching tonight, and we're very excited to have you join us and hope that you can make it down to Athens sometime for a game. If not, tune into the Cardinal Sports Network as we have 4 more dates after tonight planned for webcast, and also there are 5 other dates that our flagship station KYYK 98.3 FM in Palestine will air, and I know you can't pick that up out of state, but it is also streamed online at YourEastTexas.com. YourEastTexas.com will have 5 other dates that we won't have for you here on the Cardinal Sports Network. So plenty of Cardinal and Lady Cardinal basketball, and we are ready and underway with the tip. Mario Hines jumping for the Cardinals. Cardinals control. Nick Hansberry, check that. Charlton Jones running the offense for the Ponies. Cardinals in the man-to-man defense. Get the ball down low and a jam home for the first points of the night by Kenny Edwards for the Ponies. Of course, we mentioned earlier, Edwards is averaging 11.6 points a game.
Too easy right there, Ben.
Too easy. Cardinals turn it over on their first trip. Three-pointer, got it, and just like that, the Ponies are out of the gate in a hurry. That's number 4, Nick Hansberry with the three-pointer, 5-0, Panola. Cardinals are really going to have to get their offense going quickly because Panola has started strong out of the gate. Going to be an offensive foul. D.D. Scarver lost control of the ball as he went to retrieve it. The official said he pushed off, and I think that he probably did, Jason, to pick up the foul.
Yeah, you could see there as the defender was kind of falling back, had become the offensive player. Actually, I think D.D. did give him a little bit of a shove to try to keep the ball, keep control there. Disaster started for Trinity Valley just in the first minute.
Tim Harrison checked in for Scarver, number 10. 6'1" freshman out of Louisville, Kentucky. Shot up, no good. Rebound by Gatson, Darius Gatson, the only sophomore back from last year's team. He goes coast to coast, puts it up, and is going to be called for the charge. Another turnover for the Cardinals, trailing 5-0, less than about a minute and a half into the game.
Come down the court 4 times, turn the ball over 3.
Checking into the game for the Cardinals now is C.J. Shapiro out of San Antonio, Texas, a 6'2" freshman. His dad was his high school coach.
Right away you see Trinity Valley coach Pat Smith not afraid to make some quick substitutions here. Try to stem this tide early.
Three-pointer, no good. Rebound controlled by the Cardinals. Martez Walker pulled the board. Shapiro. Daniel Hambe making a power move inside out to Shapiro, back to Harrison, over to Hambe one more time, reset it. Strong move down low, no good. Cardinals still scoreless. Well, you can just see Panola's wanting to shoot that three-pointer, Jason. This one's no good, but you can just see by the way that they're working the ball to the offensive end, they're looking to get the ball to Jones along the perimeter.
And frankly, right now, just out hustling the Cardinals, they're able to get some of those open looks. They're doing a nice job of moving the ball around and rotating.
Harrison running the offense. Over to Walker. Power move. Going to have a blocking foul against the Ponies. Martez Walker, a 6'4" sophomore out of Los Angeles, California, made the power move inside, drew the foul. Going to go to the free throw line to shoot 2. 5-0 with 17:20 left in the first half. In and out on the first one. Aaron Gilstrap checking into the contest for Daniel Hambe. Gilstrap is a 6'5" sophomore out of Fort Worth, Texas. He's wearing number 2 for the Cardinals. Second one is no good. There he is, Gilstrap keeping the ball alive. A nice save by Walker. Shapiro over to Harrison. Harrison puts up the 3. No good. Rebound is controlled by the Cardinals. Gilstrap knocks it down. Cardinals' first point at 17:06 left in the half. 5-2, pressure defense full court by the Cardinals. Now they drop back into the half court. Ball's out of bounds, but it's off the Cardinals. Diorve Johnson lost the ball, but it did go off the Cardinals, so the Ponies will maintain possession.
Nice job of Shapiro there in the corner to bat the ball away.
2-point shot is going to be good. Diorve Johnson with the bucket. 7-2 Panola. Shapiro running the offense for the Cardinals. Over to Harrison, almost had a steal, and he does. He's going to get a steal of the ball. Goes off bounds out of Harrison. After Hansberry made a play on the ball, nicked Harrison on the way out. D.D. Scarver is back in the game. Also checking into the Cardinals again is Darius Gatson, number 3. 7-2 Panola. Cardinals need to find that spark, maybe on the defensive end, get a turnover and an easy bucket. There they are. They got the turnover that time. Good job by Hines with the steal, and the tapped it, and the ball and the bucket goes to Martez Walker. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound controlled by Panola. They are looking to shoot that three. That one's no good. Johnson is not shy about shooting the basketball.
They are firing away.
Nice shot, knocked down. Kenny Edwards.
4 points for Edwards here in the early going.
Edwards averaging 11.6 on the season. I believe we're at 10-4, aren't we? Is it 10-4?
It is 9.
It's 9-4. All right. Turnover, Cardinals.
It's 5 turnovers, Trinity Valley ready. Pat Smith very unhappy about that last call. Not quite sure what the call was.
I didn't catch it either, Jason. I was checking out the score here. I was making sure we were all lined up on that. Nice baseline jumper knocked down by Isaac Mack. Mack's averaging 12.1 points on the season per game. He's the leading scorer for the Ponies. Three-pointer up and no good. Rebound controlled by the Ponies. They're on the move. They are looking to shoot the three. Not that time, though. Nice drive and score by Kenny Rhymes. And we have a timeout on the floor, a 30-second timeout charged to Pat Smith and the Cardinals. Down 13-4. Don't want to let this one get out of hand early, and got to figure out a way to get those buckets to drop.
It started 6 of 11 here, and they are looking to shoot, but on that one, of course, Kenny Rhymes just drove right in there and got the bucket, and Pat Smith had seen enough there. Trinity Valley's going to have to stiffen up here to get back into this one early.
Yeah, you want to stay in touch because the last game, of course, you had 15 points at halftime, and you don't want one game to become a trend.
Yeah.
And I'm not suggesting that it will. There's still plenty of time, of course, in the first half, but the Cardinals need to become more fluid, I think, on offense and work a little bit more for the open shot. Of course, Panola, like we mentioned, Jason, they have the same record as the Cardinals overall, 13-3. And there are a lot of good records in the conference this year. Of course, a lot of teams have played a pretty soft non-conference slate, and now conference play is here, and that's going to definitely separate the haves from the haves.
Yeah. And, that's one of those 6-1, half dozen the other kind of things. You don't want to wear yourself out too much in the non-div or the pre-conference slate, I should say. But
D.D. Scarborough with the ball 23 is the one the Cardinals really have to get going, because early in the season we saw him have some big scoring games.
And I think you could say the same thing about Gilstrap. You know, they've got to get him going too. As you see the Trinity Valley turnover for the 6th time now in 6 minutes.
Yeah,
Gilstrap has just got so much of a well-rounded game. I think he's got to be just as involved in the offense here. Certainly a great rebounder. And DeMario Hines, another guy, I think you got to get him going.
Exactly. Panola working the ball around the perimeter. No doubt looking if they get that opening for a three-point shot. Not much size on the floor for Panola right now, Jason.
But lots of speed.
Lots of speed, and there's a turnover. Ball's thrown out of bounds. They're trying to read each other. Jones, number 24, threw it out of bounds.
It's Panola's 2nd turnover here.
Jones,
their last 3 shots, pardon me.
That's right. Jones is averaging 6.4 assists per game so far on the season. Darius Gatson on the drive. Kicks it back out to Gilstrap. Shot missed. Rebound controlled by Hines. D.D. Scarver on the attack. Going to try the baseline. Pull-up jumper. No good. Rebound goes to Panola on the run.
That Scarver might have been fouled there a little bit.
Three-pointer up, no good. Rebound, no good. Tip back is good. Credit Kenny Edwards with that tip in. (15-4) Panola. Cardinals are really having to work on the offensive end, Jason. Get the ball down low to Hines. Tries to make a move and a turnover along the baseline.
7 turnovers.
Well, Pat
now.
Smith just dropped his head in his hands. You just can't have turnovers. Well, when you're struggling to score and you turn the ball over, it's just like a double-edged sword.
Going to go back with Yahambe now in the game for Gilstrap, trying to get something going.
He's trying every combination. They'll find one here in a minute. Just got to get off to a better start at home. Jones runs the offense, 24 for the Ponies. Thought about a three-pointer, kicks it over in the corner. Good, knocked it down. Boy, that's just a dagger when they do that to you when you're struggling yourself. That's Isaac Mack scored. Again, he's the leading scorer on the season for the Ponies with a 12.1 average, and he's hit 26 three-pointers. Make that 27 now.
11-0 run now for Panola.
18-4. This was getting out of hand in a hurry. D.D. Scarver tried to make a shot out of nothing, and that's what he got from it that time, but he'll find his range here shortly. Another one from the corner. He knocks it down. Isaac Mack. Boy, just like that, we're 21-4, and Pat Smith's got to use another timeout. This will be a full timeout.
8 points already for Mack in about 8 minutes. And a 14-0 run by Panola this game.
This is just, you just can't have that kind of start at home in a conference game, so it's so hard to win on the road.
7-4 for this run, and they've called a full timeout now on the Cardinal bench, trying to figure out what's going on. The thing is, Benny, I mean, on both of those shots, Mack's running that corner, and it's not like he's open. He's just hitting a tough shot.
Oh, he is. He really is. And he is deep in the corner, as the folks have seen.
I guess the best thing you can do is just try to keep scoring with him, like we talked about being a track meet. But right now, Trinity Valley's not holding up its end of the bargain.
No, not at all. But Pat Smith will find the buttons to push over there. I mean, he's got scorers on his team, and that's one of the things he talked about going into the season. He felt like he was deeper from people who could score, whereas last year we pretty much saw if Chris Blake didn't score, the Cardinals weren't going to score. That's not the case with this Cardinal team, but they just don't have the range right now, that's for sure.
You know, and not to be an apologist here, too, but, you know, of course, these games, you're still looking to find the right combinations, the right rotations, and the most important thing is to get into that regional tournament and then start letting it fly and see what happens there, but you got to get there first.
Yeah, you do. Of course, seeding is all about seeding. Of course, we're too early really in the conference schedule to even be talking about seeding, but I'm just talking about, well, that's the ones that determines those matchups that you get, and some teams just don't match up well against each other.
Yeah, and you don't want to run into a San Jack or a Navarro.
Not too early in the tournament.
No.
Navarro, of course, has won the last 2 regional championships. Went to the national tournament last year, made a very strong showing. Harrison thought about driving, called for the travel. Just out of a timeout, turn it over.
Yeah, you know, 8th turnover there, and obviously it kind of looks like what they're going to want to try to do is just penetrate a little bit more. You know, and if you don't get the foul down there, try to see if somebody's open on the outside as you penetrate. Didn't work. Nothing's working right now for Trinity Valley.
Not right now.
Oh, boy.
The offensive foul. Be called on Stefan Tika. Great name for a song, Stefan Tika.
Stefan Tika and the Sound Machine. Had Stefan Tika not run over Hambe there was another wide open look from that corner from 3.
Panola's really working on the defensive end, making the Cardinals work equally as hard. There's Walker, drives the baseline, reverse layup, no good. Tip back, no good. Controlled by Panola.
Seen that 2 straight possessions down the court. Trinity Valley's tried to pound it inside.
Nice rebound by Walker. Darius Gatson with the drive, knocks it down. There the Cardinals get off of the slump they were in. 21-6, 10:34 left in the opening half. Been all Panola so far.
Again, you see Gatson driving in there, just trying to get in. You got to get to the hoop. When you're not having shots fall, you got to get to the hoop. Most of the time, something good's going to happen.
Tika tried to do too much there and throws it away. Gatson picks it up, drives in for the layup. Doesn't get the shot to fall, but it's going to be fouled. It's going to be on Johnson, number 11. He's shooting 2 free throws. You definitely got to hit your free throws when you spotted another team such a large lead.
No doubt. But on the road to turning it around, this is how you're going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Anytime you can score points with the clock stopped and you're behind, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Gets the first one to fall.
3rd point for Gatson tonight.
And like we mentioned a couple of times already, Gatson is the only player that Pat Smith brought back from last year's squad, which reached the semifinals of the regional tournament.
Yeah, 4th point there for Gatson. He's a hard-nosed player. I like him. I think he's a tough kid, tough player, good player to have on your team.
Cardinals aren't getting much out of their press just yet. Not creating any easy shots. Panola's very patient when they come down to finding the open shot. There's the top of the key jumper, 3-pointer, air ball out of bounds. And that's what the Cardinals need. That's one stop you've got to have. When you're down by this much, every stop, you got to make it count, though. You got to come down and get something. You can't just make stops for the sake of making stops.
Yeah, and Panola, boy, they have taken, just by my count, 9 3-point shots already. That was their first miss. They hit their last 2, so.
Another turnover on offensive foul. This one's going to be called on Tim Harrison. He's going to go to the bench now for D.D. Scarver. Cardinals really need to get Scarver going. I mean, he was really their spark in those first 7 or 8 games of the season that we saw.
Yeah, and you know, as you see the scores and the scoring breakdown over the last couple of weeks, just not so much there. And he's certainly very, very capable. So, you know, you never know what leads to those kind of funks, but he's a kid that can definitely light it up.
He's averaging 17-9 on the season. Now we got a held ball.
It's going to be a turnover, looks like. Benny Scarver did a nice job on defense there and got the 5-second count.
Yeah. Scarver's averaging 17.9 per game scoring, and he's hit 23 pointers on the season. Cardinals actually have 5 players, Jason, averaging in double figures. So it's time for those players, you know, to step up now and get it done.
Same, and of course, same as Panola. Panola's got the same.
Well, they do. Well, they're both 13-3, and that's the reason they're 13. Scarver puts up the jumper, gets it to fall. That's what the Cardinals need. They've got to have D.D. Scarver involved in the offense.
Such a smooth stroke there. It's the first points of the game. Started the game 0 of 2 from the field.
Yeah, they've got to get him going. They need another stop here now. Not going to get it, though. Isaac Mack hits a shot from inside 3-point range. Gets nothing but net.
Yeah, let me tell you something. That's going to be tough to defend now. He's got 10 points already. He's catching and shooting, and he's got hands in his face most of the time.
Spin move behind's down low. Doesn't get it to fall.
I believe that was Walker.
Yeah, Martez Walker with the tip in. Now the Cardinals, that's 2 straight possessions now they've scored, right, Jason? I think on the
it is
from the floor. That's what they've got to do now. They've got to start making those stops add up now, where they can slowly get back in this game. Definitely not out of hand yet. 3-pointer, no good. Rebound. It's going to be a foul call. The Cardinals got a hand on the ball. Drew the foul. I believe it was Hines that might have gotten the rebound or a piece of the ball anyway.
I think it was a Hambe. I've been pretty sure that was kind of an obvious one. As he tried to jump, something pulled him down, and that was obviously Hansberry that pulled him down.
Yeah. Daniel Hambe, a 6'1" freshman from Mansfield, Texas.
He's an interesting player, is he not? He's a chunk of a guy, and listed as a kind of a post player. He's 6'1", not your typical post, but pretty effective down there.
Oh, Hines trying to make something happen and turns the ball over.
10th time tonight.
10 turnovers already for the Cardinals.
So you got to keep an eye on Isaac Mack here. He's looking and he's going to fire it up. You can't give him much space at all out here on the left side.
Yeah, not at all, Jason. Gadsden D'ing up on him right now. Jumper. No good. Controlled by Harrison. Harrison got way up in the air and controlled that rebound. Over to Walker in the corner. Thought about the 3. Pass it up. D.D. Scarver for 3. Yes, got it. There you go. Now D.D.'s getting on track, folks.
That just looked good when it left his hand, Benny. I think you could see he knew it, and I think everybody else knew it in the gym, too. That was going in.
Now you got an 8-point game. Just like that, you're within single digits. Got to get these stops. Not let them spot up for a 3-pointer. Nice baseline drive, though, by Kenny Rhymes. Took it to the hoop.
What can you do? I mean, a lot of these shots by Panola are tough shots. They're falling, and, Trinity Valley's not lapsing on defense. They're just having a hard time stopping these great shots that Panola's making.
Panola's sitting back in the 2-3 zone. Walker, power move inside. Nice job of the finger roll. Nice. Oh, he's a really nice-looking kid inside like that,
Nice
Jason.
touch. That's a tough shot right there. 6 points now for Walker.
Walker, of course, a 6'4" sophomore from Los Angeles, California. Top of the key, no good. Rebound off of Panola. Ball belongs to the Cardinals. There's a stop.
Yeah,
got to come down now and follow that up with success on the offensive end.
I think Mack is probably at his best when he's catching and shooting. A little quick there, maybe a little too much of a force, but when you've hit the shots that he's had, he got 10 points already. You can't blame for taking that shot, but Trinity Valley is slowly creeping back into this game now.
Well, I tell you, Jason, I hope folks are enjoying watching these games on the Cardinal Sports Network, and you and I get a front seat, but boy, there's just so many talented people, dedicated people that are making the webcast happen on the cameras, in the control room, on the graphics, and we sure appreciate them all, and hope everyone will drop us a line and let us know that you're listening.
I can't speak for you, but much more talented than I. I see lots of knobs and wires. These guys handle it. They do a great job.
They really do.
You don't see a lot of schools this size doing something like this. It's pretty groundbreaking.
Yeah, it's a heck of a job. Harrison with the basketball for the Cardinals. Being attended to by Jones. Steps around a pick. Over to Gadsden in the corner. Got the 3-pointer. Knocked it down. That's what the Cardinals have got to do. Is got to work and find that open shot along the perimeter and knock it down. That's the way this team is built, Jason, is for that outside shot like that.
Yeah, now that's 7 points for Gadsden and 4 straight shots for Trinity Valley. This is a 5-point game.
Yeah, suddenly it is. It's 25-20. And you see the Cardinals are really up on their toes on the defensive end. 3-pointer up. Oh, he knocks it down. What a key shot, a big shot by Kenny Rhymes.
5 points now for Rhymes. They love that catching and shooting. Montgomery for 3. Oh, just rattles out.
Controlled by the Ponies. 3-pointer from the top. Got it. Knocked it down just like that. Man, you just can't let them loose for a moment because they're going to make you pay, and that's Kenny Rhymes again with the 3-pointer. And we have a 30-second timeout on the floor charged to the Cardinals.
As Rhymes picks up his 8th point of the night, Pat Smith is hot. Hot.
Yeah, they will pump up some music on the.
Well, and Rhymes did get a good look there. That's one thing that he did get a pretty good look, and you can't do that the way they're knocking down shots anyway, you know.
You can see how intense Pat is in the huddle there, and that's the Pat Smith that we know. Man, he gets his players' attention, and he wants them executing the way they practice all week, because I guarantee you that they are thoroughly prepared when they step onto the floor. Pat Smith coach team is.
Sure. Just when they had pulled it to 5, now, you know, you're all of a sudden you're back to, 11 points. That's pretty discouraging, but plenty of game left. It's just the way Panola's doing this, it's going to be tough to get back in if, like you said, you don't get a lot of stops here.
Well, yeah, what you want to be careful of is because when you keep falling behind by double digits, you have to work so hard to catch up, and then sometimes you don't have enough to finish.
Right.
Gatson running the offense. Tried to get it off to Scarver. Instead, three-pointer no good. Gilstrap.
Nice.
Hines with the putback. Doesn't get the shot to fall, but is going to draw the foul.
Nice job by Hines
it
there.
It really was.
Just got one hand on the ball. Such a big body down there. Did a great job of rebounding that Gilstrap miss. Now he's going to the line.
Got to make these free throws, man. There's just no margin for error when you fall behind by double digits. 4:48 left in the opening half. First one good.
That'll put Hines on the board for the first time tonight.
Yeah, see there you go. You got to get him going too.
You bet.
He's averaging 12.4 a game this year. Of course, he really gives you help on the boards. He's averaging 9.2 rebounds, the team leader in rebounds. Hit 1 of 2. 10-point game. Wow. Oh, great job. Hines and Gilstrap combined for that block almost, Jason.
Yeah, they really did. That's simultaneous.
Gatson puts up the shot, doesn't get it to fall. Going to go to the line, shoot 2. Called the foul on Andre Palachek, number 5.
I think all the difference right now, Benny, is with Trinity Valley's kind of recommitment to driving to the hoop on that play. Gatson really didn't have much going on, and it was a wild shot, but he knew he could get fouled going in there and taking that shot, and that's what they've got to do.
Knocks down the first free throw, 31-22.
It's 8 points now for Gatson tonight.
He's averaging 11.4 points a game this season and 4.9 assists. Also picking up 2.4 steals along the way per game. Cardinals pressing in the backcourt. Panola gets fortunate. The ball goes off one of the Cardinals. Still got the press on.
Got Johnson, number 11, over here lurking. Suppose he's looking for that corner.
Nice job by Harrison. Out defending the ball, almost got the steal, but you're right, Jason. The shot clock expires. A great job of defense by the Cardinals, forcing the 5th Panola turnover. We have one score to report from the conference. Navarro's at Bossier tonight. Navarro's winning 56-31 with 12 minutes to go in the game. Paris is up 33-28 on Kilgore at halftime. That Navarro at Paris, Bossier game, Jason, is one we should be at.
Strictly for the basketball, folks.
Of course. D.D. Scarver to Harrison, top of the key. No, will not fall. Rebounded by the Ponies. 8-point game. 3:30 left in the first half. Well, you know the Cardinals want to be in single digits if they're at halftime, Jason. You don't want to be double digits down at halftime.
Yeah, and they've got plenty of time.
Yeah, there's plenty of time. They could even be in the lead for that matter.
You bet.
They're working on the defensive end. Just got a shot clock violation on the previous trip. 10 seconds on the shot clock. The shot clock not working on the end Panola's operating on. Three-pointer, top of the key, no good. Rebound controlled by the Cardinals. That's D.D. Scarver. Darius Gatson on the attack. Over to Gilstrap. Gilstrap puts up the 3, knocks it down, an off-balance three-pointer, and boom, just like that, the Cardinals pull within 5. They give up a layup. You can't do that. Charlton Jones with the layup. Didn't make him work for that one at all.
Well, I was just about to say that was the 5th point for Gilstrap. He's got one of the prettier shots that I've seen in just around 10 years. I know that's not a whole lot compared to you, but one of the prettier shots I've seen out here for the Cardinals.
Top of the key, three-pointer, no good. Hines trying to get the rebound, but he's by himself under there with 5 Panola players, and Panola's on the attack. Boy, he thought about pulling up and pulling the trigger on a three. Oh, nice job by Kenny Rhymes battling inside, Jason.
Yeah, he's
keeping the ball alive and getting the putback.
Put back his own miss there. Can't do that. Got to get a body on that guy.
Man, the Cardinals just can't make the stop when they get within 5. It just slips away from them, and then it takes it back out to a 9-point game.
That's 10 for Rhymes now. You got 10 for Rhymes, 10 for Mack, and 8 for Edwards.
Under 2 minutes left in the first half. Over to Harrison. Thought about the three. Over to Gatson.
Cardinals got to get back into driving, and there you see Gatson right there.
Oh, he drove, and he's going to draw the foul that time. Made a good power move once he decided to go, and the foul's Kenny Edwards, number 30.
And that's what they had to do right there, Benny. They had gotten away from trying to drive in there and force the issue, and, of course, Panola built a little bit more of a lead up, and here they go again back to the free throw line, and I think that's the way it's going to have to be done tonight to some degree.
It's going to be a blue-collar type comeback for them. They're going to have to work at it. 35-27.
10 points now for Gatson.
Cardinals really need to get this free throw, get a stop, come down and get a bucket. You just want to make your job a lot easier in the second half. Don't want to be looking at a big deficit at home at halftime. And we have a timeout. June C. Cotton in his first year at Panola College as head coach. Of course, Jacob Wonder, the previous head coach at Panola, is now down at San Jacinto as Scott Jernander's assistant coach.
Not a bad move.
Not a bad move at all.
I don't think Jernander's going to coach much longer than maybe 115 or 120, and then Wonders can slide right in there in the 60s or 70s.
Very good point. Coach Hernander's been down there, of course, a long time. One of the deans in the league now that, Leon Spencer's no longer around in the league, and Lewis Orr and Guy Davis. Now you got Guy Morris and Scott Jernander are among the veterans.
I still think Leon's the funniest guy in the league, even though he's not in the league.
Well, he's got some good jokes.
He makes his presence known, doesn't he?
Some of them are not ready for prime time, but it's good to see Coach Spencer here with us tonight like he usually is for most Cardinal home games. Yep. 35-28, coming up on the 1-minute mark of the first half. Now they're going to look for a really good shot here.
I think more than anything, Benny, right here, you want to defend against a three. You don't want to give them a three and continue to let them have that momentum.
Cardinals did a good job on defense of cutting off Ashton Harrell. The ball does go out of bounds.
Going to have 14 seconds to do something here coming out of that timeout.
And again, we mentioned Panola shooting on the end where the shot clock's not operating tonight, and the Cardinals, of course, will face that in the second half. So you've got to have somebody on the bench that's making sure that and there's a turnover. Cardinals got to stop, got to convert, got numbers 3-on-1 and throw it away. Had a 3-on-1 break and didn't execute.
Their 11th turnover, and here we go.
There he is from the corner. In and out. Hines with the rebound, got a whistle. I think there's going to be a foul on Panola. Yeah.
It's his third. Andrej Palachek's third foul already. Coming off the bench, though.
57 seconds left in the half. Cardinals are going to be at the line for a 1-and-1. Knock both of these down, and suddenly you got a 5-point game again. You got to get it to where you can manage it in the second half, where you're not constantly coming back from double digits in the second half.
Yeah, you're definitely in a damage control mode right now. Lots of time. 6'5" and 185 for Gilstrap. I'd be in the NFL right now if I was 6'5" and 185.
Don't quit your day job.
I know.
Gets the first one to fall. We're at a 6-point game.
6 points for Gilstrap.
6'5" sophomore from Fort Worth, Texas. Town of the Cow. Oh, nice job. Was that
Mario Hines, yes.
Yeah, he crashed in on the miss and got the tip, and boy, that's unexpected points there. Now suddenly it's a 4-point game. You get a stop here, and you're in business at halftime. The Cardinals have really done a great job, Jason, of tightening up their defense this last 5 minutes, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, it's
offensively,
nice.
There's a turnover. See, that's a defense force turnover right there. Great job.
Gilstrap just kind of put the pressure there on Stefan Tika.
This combination of players is really working well for Pat Smith, and I would think we'd see this combination of 5 in the second half quite a bit.
I would think so, and I imagine they're going to be playing for a shot right up to the buzzer here.
I think so. I think you would be happy if you were just down 4. I mean, from whence you came, so to speak. 3-pointer, knocked it down. Gilstrap is having a great game, and he's got the Cardinals suddenly within 1 point. Now they've made this game very manageable in the second half, Jason, no matter what happens on this possession.
That's right. 9 points for Gilstrap. Huge.
Well, they're going to call blocking. I thought the Cardinals might get a call there.
Yeah. Call's going to be on Harrison. Real close call, real borderline call. But like you said, it doesn't really matter what happens from this point on. You don't want to give up a 3, and don't want to give up if you can, but nice series of events here in the last 138. They're going right here on a 8-0 run.
3-pointer, knocked it down. Wow. Charlton Jones just shot one, and a steal and a putback for a bucket. Boy, that's just a crushing way for the half to end. Ashton Harrell, number 0, gets a steal and a layup, and all of a sudden, Jason, you had a 35-34 game, and it's suddenly 40-34.
Oh, gosh. Well, and we had said there wasn't much you could do to,
Well, was I wrong or
well,
what?
hey, me too. That's a tough one. That's not something we were necessarily looking for, and gosh, if you're Pat Smith, you got to go in the locker room pretty frustrated. I mean, you can walk in there and say, hey, guys, good job getting back into it, and that's just not the way you want to end the half, for sure.
Not at all. Well, we're going to let Jason total up the first half, and we'll rejoin you again here in about 5 or 6 minutes. We're going to step away for a moment. Hope you're enjoying Cardinal basketball on the Cardinal Sports Network with the Cardinals trailing Panola 40-34 at the half. And we're back at Cardinal Gym with the Cardinals trailing by a score of 40-34 at halftime. Still about 6 minutes left in the half. Thank you for joining us tonight on the Cardinal Sports Network. If you can see our remaining broadcast schedule, webcast schedule for the rest of the season. Next Wednesday night, these are all Wednesday nights. Next Wednesday we'll be here, as we've mentioned, when the Cardinals and Lady Cardinals are home against San Jacinto. And on the following Wednesday, on January 26th, we have Glenn in town for 5:30 and 7:30 games. Our pregame starts at 5:15. February 16th, what will be a big night here at Cardinal Gym. We'll have Kilgore in town for a doubleheader. And then, of course, on February 23rd on a Wednesday, we'll have a doubleheader against Paris on February 23rd. And again, those are all Wednesday games. And our women's pregame show will begin around 5:15 p.m. on all those nights. And we certainly want you to join us on the Cardinal Sports Network and drop us an email and let us know where you're listening from. You can do that by sending the email to csn@tvcc.edu. We mentioned we've had a decent crowd tonight, but we expect the remaining Wednesday nights, of course, to be a lot more bigger crowds, because the students will be back on campus with classes resuming next Tuesday here at Trinity Valley. And Jason, that first half, I mean, the Cardinals dug a hole early, fought to get out of it, and it looked like they might go in with a 1-point deficit at halftime, and we saw Panola strike for a couple of quick buckets there at the end.
Well, we talked about, the one thing you didn't want to do is necessarily give up a 3-point bucket there, and they did. And then, of course, a quick steal and a layup right there at the end by Ashton Harrell, and gosh, it's lightning fast like that. 5 points puts the lead back at 6, and still, they've come a long way back. You're talking about coming back from, I think, what was it, 21-4?
21-4.
And that's not bad. A 6-point game after a 21-4 start. Trinity Valley did a really good job of, getting to the hoop, and did a pretty good job from the free throw line, 8 of 12 from the free throw line. Just kind of figuring stats at the half and realized that Panola didn't take a single free throw, not a single shot.
I didn't realize that.
You know, Trinity Valley have 11 of 23 field goals, 4 of 10 from three-point range, and like we said, 8 of 12 from the free throw line. And as Panola, as we saw, very ready to throw up the three-point shot. They attempted 31 shots, and 15 of those were from beyond the three-point arc, and they were 6 of 15 from three-point range. So, you know, that's kind of the difference right now. You know, there's 6 3-pointers in the first half, and of course those 5 quick points there at the end, kind of a damper. And as we were saying, Pat Smith had a chance to go in the locker room and say, "Good job, guys," and you know, had to amend that somewhat by saying, "Good job. The last 4 seconds killed us, though."
Yeah. Why don't you take a look at some of the leading scorers so far, Jason?
You bet. Well, for Trinity Valley, Darius Gadsden's got 11. I think you said he's averaging about 11.4, so he's right on his average. The guys that we said had to get involved right now, Scarver is at 5 points. Martez Walker, another one of their very prolific scorers, at 6 points. And Aaron Gilstrap, you know, had hit that big three right there at the end, 25 seconds left. You know, he's got 9. So I think all those guys are going to have to be back involved in there a whole lot. Mario Hines has 3 points right now. But, you know, you can take your pick. You're probably going to need a couple of them to continue to stay hot here in the second half. And, you know, Gadsden's done a good job. I think they're just going to have to continue to try to drive to the basket and get to the free throw line. And, you know, I would think that Panola's probably going to have to do the same thing as well, because you know, you've got to get to the line, and they haven't done that in this game yet.
And who's leading Panola? Or should I ask? Do I have to ask?
Well, you know, Kenny Rhymes, you know, he's got 2 of the 3-pointers and 10 points. Isaac Mack has got 2 of the 3-pointers and 10 points. And Kenny Edwards has 8 points. You know, you also had threes by Nick Hansberry. And Charlton Jones was the one that hit the 3 there with 4 seconds left and turned around. And as we said, Ashton Harrell got that 2-pointer. So, you know, Trinity Valley's going to have to get a hand in their face, because even that's not working right now. And like we said, you can't really fault Trinity Valley. There have been very few instances where somebody has swung open and it was a defensive lapse, but they're still hitting those shots. So Trinity Valley just got to keep playing real tough defensive, maybe a little more physical, and see where we land.
And I thought that, obviously, anytime you fall behind 21-4, the way you're going to get back into the game is on the defensive end. And I thought the last 7 or 8 minutes of the half, we really saw the Cardinals pick up that defensive intensity.
Yeah, they really did. They did. And you know, they're going to have to keep on doing that. And, again, they've got a pretty nice little bench themselves, you know, where they can come in with a guy like Ihambe. You know, haven't seen some other guys that have done, you know, like Doug Montgomery. You know, he's a guy that can really get going here in the second half. And, you know, they've just got several guys that can step up here and do it. And I agree with you. I think it all starts defensively. So going to have to keep doing that, and just know that Panola is going to fire away.
Well, we're 1 minute away from this second half getting started here at Cardinal Gym on the Cardinal Sports Network, and Panola leading by a score of 40-34. Be interested to see how quickly the Cardinals start. You know, they usually say when you got a close game going, the first 5 minutes of a half can really dictate seemingly how the game is going to go. Of course, we saw that in the first half with the start that Panola got off to as well. We take a look at the possession area. I think it's going to belong to the Cardinals, so they're going to get a chance to cut into the deficit right off the start. If you were not with us earlier tonight, you saw the Lady Cardinals score a 115-56 victory over Panola, running their record to 18-0 with 6-0 in conference, and will no doubt protect that number 2 national ranking going into Saturday's game against Jacksonville on the road.
Something fun to watch, too, you know, as Pensacola continues to play. It's kind of you never know when those two teams can flip-flop. And, again, I think we talked about rankings. I think that, as I call them, Team Landers, I don't think that Team Landers really cares about the ranking right now, and maybe would prefer not to be number 1 right now.
Yeah.
So
the only time you care about the rankings is when the season's over, and it helps you with your seeding up at a national tournament if you qualify. We're back underway. Darius Gadsden controlling the ball for the Cardinals, down 40-34. Alley-oop to Hines, little out of reach. Nice tip back try by Walker, doesn't fall though, and Hines is going to wind up getting a foul for being out of position there on the rebound just a bit. You know, this Cardinal makeup of this Cardinal team, Jason, is different, and there's just no wide bodies really on this team from the post position. A lot of quickness, though.
Yeah, and you look at a guy like Hines, you know, as a sophomore, obviously, he looks like he's got a lot of room to grow. Yeah, maybe not height-wise, but, you know, he's going to go somewhere, and they're going to put some weight on him, and he's going to be a real formidable player down there low.
Oh, I agree with that. Baseline jumper, no good. It's going to be Cardinals ball. It hits the Panola player out of bounds. Kenny Edwards was out of bounds when the ball sails off of him. So the Cardinals are going to get another possession here. Lindsey Cotton, the Panola coach, not very happy. Something that transpired there, so makes a sub. Gatson over to Scarver. Walker looking to get the ball down low and does to Hines. The ball swatted away. That wasn't a very, you can't make that pass with 3 defenders around you, boy. They're going to swat.
You're looking at a margin of inches there where you're going to make that pass.
Right.
So that probably means not a good one.
Steal by the Cardinals. That's Darius Gatson over to Harrison. Puts the layup up. It's undercut. Going to shoot 2 free throws. Let's see a kid get hurt that way when he's undercut like that. Not necessarily saying it was intentional or flagrant, but it's just a hard play.
You like to see, Charlton Jones ran right over to him and said, hey, man, you okay? You like to see that.
Sure.
I like good hard play, but I like sportsmanship too.
Harrison to shoot 2. Chance to pull the Cardinals. Then 4. Trailing by 5 at this point. Hits the first one.
It's his first point of the game.
It's had an active game. He just hasn't scored. Gets the second one to fall. 40-36.
Nice defense by Harrison there.
It really was. Cardinals working hard on the defensive end. Nice job. That was a forced turnover there just because they collapsed and helped out like they were supposed to.
Yeah, and Gatson could have gotten called for a reach there, but he must have just had his hand on all ball there, and that's a nice play as that guy's running by just to try to disrupt and led to a turnover and a travel.
Of course, if you're just now joining us, Panola jumped out to a 21-4 lead. Cardinals got it to 40-34 at halftime, and working on that deficit now. Gatson controls for the Cardinals. Low pass down low to Hines. A nice move along the baseline, but Hines gets the bucket to fall and it gets the foul.
Now, and you saw the feed there from Gatson. Another one of those passes where you've got to be right on the mark, and he sure was, and Hines took it from there. Nice spin move to the baseline and finished it off. Going to have a chance to make it a 1-point game here after the timeout.
Panola calls a full timeout. 40-38. You're right, Jason. With a free throw, they can be back within 1 with less than 2 minutes gone in the second half.
Hines will be looking for a 6-point when he goes back to the line following this break.
See Pat Smith talking to the Cardinals in the huddle. Pat, of course, is the AD here at Trinity Valley as well. Very intense. I love to come over to the gym sometimes to watch his workouts because he is just so intense and gets his message across very, very clearly.
I think he showers intense.
Cardinal cheerleaders performing for the home side. Of course, they have a new coach this year, Charlie Huber, his first year on campus, and expecting great things from him and the Cardinal cheerleading squad. They've won 9 national championships, and hopefully we'll be back in Daytona Beach, Florida this spring and get number 10.
I haven't been invited yet.
Yeah, you ever notice how we get to make the trips to the snowlands of Kansas and not get to the beaches of Florida?
I'll take Kansas.
I will too. I'd love a double trip to Kansas like we had in '99 when both teams were at the national tournament.
That would be nice.
DeMario Hines out of Cleveland, Ohio, 6'8" sophomore. Gets it, will not fall. Martez Walker tried to control the rebound. And it's going to be Cardinals ball.
Well, I think Tim Harrison talked the ref into that one. Works out fine for Trinity Valley.
There is no instant replay.
Well, the bucket will tie the game here, Benny. They could go ahead.
He took steps, yeah.
Yeah.
Took steps before he took off. So that's just, you can't, you gotta limit those type of mistakes when you're working so hard to get even and and take the lead. Got the press working. Panola gets it down the floor. He takes it coast to coast. Kenny Rhymes took it coast to coast, didn't get the shot to fall, but Panola's going to retain possession.
Hines was a rebound there from a nice defensive stop there. Did a good job of not running into Rhymes as he ran to the hoop. Avoided drawing contact.
I had a travel. Nice job on the defense by Hines.
It's third travel of the second half, and note again, you know, for one thing, Panola hasn't scored for the first 2:15 of this half, and we've gone 22 and a half minutes, or 22 and 15, with 0 attempts from the free throw line by Panola.
One of the officials told Rhymes for Panola and Hines for the Cardinals to cut back on the chatter just a little bit there as they were walking down the floor.
They're just being nitpicky now, aren't they?
Scarver for 3 in the lead. Didn't get it. Rebound Hines, puts back, blocked.
It's a nice block right there by Rhymes on the other end.
Harrison continued to play really good defense on the ball. Jumper missed by Rhymes, rebounded by the Cardinals. Gatson on the attack, takes it all the way. Can't get the shot to fall, but is going to be fouled and have a chance at 2 free throws to tie the score with 17 minutes left in the game.
Gatson had 11 points in the first half, right back at that same routine or that same strategy to just get to the hoop as fast as you can and see what happens.
Gatson averaging 11.4 points a game. They get the first one to fall. Boy, they just can't pull even. They're just struggling to pull even. Gilstrap checks back in for the Cardinals. Of course, he had a big first half and really helped lead the comeback. Second shot will not fall. Man, got to take advantage of those opportunities. Panola quickly down the floor. Cardinals are really doing a great job of defending out along the perimeter. Got a timeout call as Lindsey Cotton was fearful of a held ball, wanted to save the possession using the timeout.
And hey, I mean, there you go. I mean, again, Gatson's right up in his grill. And, you know, I like the calls or the lack of calls right now. You know, had Gatson bear hugged him, of course, you got to call that. Gatson did get right up in there and, you know, no call. I think that's a good no call. And, of course, he really wanted either the 5-second call or the ball, because when Lindsey Cotton called that timeout, Gatson looked right at him and kind of like, hey, you know, you messed up my chance, but that's Cotton's job, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. 40-38. Cardinals are just on the cusp of taking the lead. They fell behind, folks, to start the game, 21-4, and fought to get back in it at halftime, down 40-34, and now here they are within 2 points. Oh, I thought Gilstrap was going to get a steal there. He anticipated the pass, just comes up short. Panola keeps the ball.
I really like how the Cardinals are hustling right now, though. Gilstrap missed that chance to steal the ball, and he backtracks.
Yeah, so there's a forced turnover there, backcourt call, and that's because Gatson was up there in the passing lane.
Yeah, and same thing. That's what Gilstrap did. As soon as Gilstrap backpedaled to get back to defensive position, hands are up, trying to cut those passing lanes down. And Trinity Valley's doing everything that they need to do right now, except for just, you know, they got to get it in the hoop and get this thing even. This is going to be a full ball game, I can tell you that.
For 3, got it, and the Cardinals have the lead, 41-40. D.D. Scarver with a 3-pointer at the 16-17 mark, put the Cardinals into a 41-40 lead.
It's 8 points for D.D. now. Huge shot. He was about a foot behind the three-point line.
The 5-second held ball call. There's a defensive forced turnover, Jason. That's what's happening here now.
5 turnovers now to start the half. In the first 4 minutes, 0 points for Panola in 4 minutes.
What just amazes me in this league, Jason, how a 21-4 lead can be gone just like that, and the other team then suddenly have the momentum. Scarver puts up a shot, top of the key, no good. Nobody there for the rebound except for the Cardinals. Kenny Edwards controlled for Panola. Jones tried to go cross court to Rhymes, but the ball goes out of bounds, but it goes off of the Cardinals, and it will belong to the Ponies.
41-40. You hoped it had gotten there, but you just probably couldn't imagine at 21-4 that you'd be looking at that.
I know.
Big shot by Scarver. And one thing you're seeing out of Panola, or not seeing, I guess, out of Panola, is they're not as quick to take those quick shots. Although here we go with right here with one.
Missed it. But you're right, though. They've had very few of those opportunities, too, Jason. Cardinals have really tightened up the defense since the last 6 or 7 minutes of the first half, and now in here to the second half. Shot underneath, no good. Cardinals control. In that first 5 minutes we talked about, Jason, being so important, has belonged to the Cardinals, really.
And that's right. And there's Gatson again, hustling down the court, not giving the defense time to transition back, getting to the free throw line. Good job.
Attacking the basket.
And Hansberry's now got 3 fouls and 3 points.
Yeah, see, that's big. That's big because the Ponies definitely need him out on the floor. First free throw is in. Cardinals 42-40. So you can feel momentum definitely changing, and it's all been because of the defensive play by the Cardinals.
That's it. 12 points now for Darius.
Oh, that's a little ticky-tack foul there on the rebound. He may have fouled him, but I've seen far worse than that not called.
Nearing 5 minutes now without a bucket for Panola to start this half.
15 minutes left in the game.
Nice job by Gatson. Poked that ball loose, just ran out of room.
Yeah, he did. Right in front of the Panola bench. Jones with the ball for the Ponies, working against Tim Harrison. Cardinals are definitely working on the defensive end, I can promise you that.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a completely change since the start of the game. Now I'm going to get a goaltending call there. That's unfortunate, but it was goaltending.
And the unfortunate thing was I don't think that had a shot to go in.
I don't either.
It's 12 points for Mack now.
We mentioned he's averaging 12.1 on this season, so he's right at his average. Gatson working against Mack.
Trinity Valley needs to stick with getting to the hoop.
Hines down low, just can't get the shot to fall.
Have to keep attacking the basket just like that, I think. Good ball game.
It has been. It really has.
Pat Smith's hollering for an illegal screen here.
Great job of Rhines by escaping just long enough to get a shot in position down low and puts it up and puts the Ponies back in the lead at 44-42. Cardinals have got to be able to finish this one, Jason. Got to be able to finish it. They've done a great job of fighting back. Scarver with the drive, can't get it to fall, and man, the shots just won't fall.
I just think that, that's,
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. There's nothing I can add to that other than Isaac Mack with a three-pointer from the corner.
3 straight now. Panola's gone on a 7-0 run, and just like that.
Yeah. Now we have a timeout being charged to the Cardinals. Should probably be a full timeout. It is a full timeout.
Boy, 15 for Mack, 3 3-pointers. He doesn't miss. I mean, he in that first half, it seemed like he did a better job hitting the ones with a hand in his face. But boy, that you just saw right there was just way too much floor around him.
Needed to say no more than that. Because you just knew, you just knew when he got in the wide open, had his feet set, that the ball was going to go down.
Yeah, and it looked good. He looked comfortable, and it looked good.
He really did. Pat Smith visiting with the Cardinals with Guy Furr. He's still got to be pleased, with the defensive effort since what about 5 or 6 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah,
somewhere along in there.
Yeah, you bet, and keeping Panola from scoring for 5 minutes. They started the quarter 0-5, but they've hit their last 3 on that 7-0 run and leads back to 5.
Well, it just shows you in this league, doesn't it, Jason? I mean, you got to play every minute you're on the floor.
Yeah, just so much speed, so much talent. So many guys that can do a lot. Well, yeah, nothing you can say. I mean, there's games like this all over the league, night in and night out, every time they hit the floor.
There really are. We hear the coaches at Media Day every year talking about how tough this league is, and they're not overselling it.
Some of us in the media, when they say it, we roll our eyes, but we know it's true. I mean, it's a cliche, but it is true that any given night.
All right, the Cardinals got to work to get back in it, down 5 all of a sudden. Had the lead up to 2 at one point. Harrison from the top of the key for 3. Oh, in and out. Controlled by the Ponies.
Trinity Valley's going to have to get on the boards.
Now, Jason, you see what's happening here is the Ponies are kind of attacking the goal a lot more than they were. The Cardinals have done a good job along the perimeter, so now they're attacking as Kenny Edwards takes that one to the hoop and gets the bucket and draws the foul. It's 49-42.
10 points now for Edwards, and he'll be stepping to the line for the first time of any Panola player all night long. Juicy Cotton giving Rhymes some congratulations over there on that bench, and golly.
8 minutes, almost.
What a swing.
Yeah, 8 minutes into the second half, basically, and first free throw, and you're on the road, and you're ahead 50-42.
Yeah, we're on a 10-0 run now, and this is the team that didn't score for 5 minutes to start this half. But we know Cardinals have it in him to come back. Plenty of time left.
Oh, definitely. Gatson with the drive, takes it.
Nice.
Very nice. Went to the left, cut down the lane, put up the layup, made the shot.
Snaps an over 4 streak from the field for Trinity Valley now. Gatson has 13 points.
Yep, Hines is going to be called for the foul there. I stand corrected. That was Montgomery that was called for the foul.
Haven't seen him much tonight.
It's his first foul. It sends Kenny Edwards to the line.
Correct myself real quick. Gatson has 14 points tonight.
First one is short, comes off the front of the iron.
Got 11 points right now. Does Edwards.
That makes the second. 7-point game, 12:33 and counting. Hambe's back in the game. He hasn't played in a while, has he? He's been a dry spell.
Yeah.
Gatson with the drive. Well, Gatson has really been attacking. Comes up with the blocks there, but the Cardinals retain possession. Ihambe puts up the three-pointer, knocks it down. And just like that, boy, the three-pointer can just get you right back in it real quick. 51-47. Miss, controlled by Walker. Now the Cardinals are on the run. Three-pointer, Scarver, short. Hines with a tip, but can't control. It's back to the Ponies.
Montgomery tried to tip that one.
Up, there's a three-pointer, short. Rebounded by Montgomery. Ihambe thought about the three. Passes it out to Scarver. Scarver on the drive. Loose ball, controlled by the Ponies. And now by Gatson for the Cardinals. Thought about the three. Montgomery goes down low to Walker. Underneath. Man, they're just missing opportunities here.
Yeah, Scarver's had just a tough go here.
Point blank range.
8 points tonight, but last couple of trips down the court.
See, Mario Hines ready to check in. Juicy Cotton from Panola is going to use one of his timeouts. See, it's probably going to be a full timeout with 10:59 left, and we have a 51-47 game. Well, the Cardinals just got to find a way to win this one at home since they're struggling on the road right now in league play because they're about to go to Jacksonville on Saturday, a tough place to play against a Jacksonville team that's really been putting points on the board.
Yeah, and there's just one more team that, you know, just no letdowns. You just don't, not many nights, you know.
There are no nights that you can take off in this league. I mean, even if the standings suggest that there may be, there's not.
Well, I mean, there's just a lot of interesting dynamics in the Region 14 conference, you know, with so many long road trips, so many tough teams, you know. I mean, there's just so many factors that can play into a season. And
well, I remember, I'm going to date myself here, but back in the old days, as I'll call it, in this league, they played on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays. You had 3 nights a week. And, man, that turnaround from Saturday to Monday was tough. If you had a tough loss or something on the road or whatever, or just any kind of loss, you only had Sunday to lick your wounds. You had to have a game plan in place by Monday night. That was this league. You had Monday, Wednesday,
I guess
Saturday.
they practice on Sunday?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you had to.
Wow.
Or if you had a tough game, you had to even consider taking the day off, just going through a walkthrough.
Tough.
It was a knockdown, drag-out league. It was greatness.
I'd have been a single guy back then, like it or not.
Back to play, thankfully. Jones working against Harrison. He's going to take it to the hoop, dishes it off. Nice job of dishing it off, but they couldn't finish. Dished it off to Kenny Rhymes. He couldn't finish, but they're going to get fortunate and get a foul against Harrison. That's his 3rd foul. He's going to send Rhymes to the line, shooting 2. Panola trying to build on 4-point lead. He misses the first.
It's 2 of 4 now, free throws for the game. You knew they were going to eventually start getting to the line.
Oh, definitely.
$13 points now for Rhymes.
Cardinals trailing by 5. 10.5, coming up on 10.5 minutes left in the game. Cardinals going to catch a break there as Rhymes tried to defend Hines from the back and going to get called for reaching. It's going to be the 5th team foul against the Ponies. Both teams 5 fouls. Gatson out to Harrison. Harrison, Dihambe almost loses the ball. Gatson with the drive, looked awkward, didn't hit the shot, and then I think Gatson may get called for the foul.
Not a pretty trip down the court for the Cardinals on that one.
It wasn't. Coming up on the 10-minute mark, Cardinals need a surge here, like we saw in the first half and at the start of this half, first 5 minutes. Been pretty quiet since then. From the corner, 3-pointer, knocks it down. Boy, that was a big bucket from the corner. A Palachek. I've got the Panola fans that are here in attendance a little bit excited. Dihambe puts up the 3, knocks it down. He answers. Wow. Not built like your typical 3-pointer, traditional 3-pointer, I should say.
He's a fullback. 6 points for that fullback, Dihambe.
Out of Mansfield. Nice job by Harrison anticipating as he was trying to take control of the ball. It goes off of the official. And the ball is going to go over to the Ponies. Yeah.
Some of those Trinity Valley fans, I saw a tongue stuck out. Not happy over there. Man, I don't know what they saw. I'm not sure if it went off the Panola player or
it went off the official. I mean, are you saying before that? I don't know.
I don't know. Some of the fans over there saw something that made them unhappy. They were fussing at the official over there on that far side.
Oh, none of our fans ever fuss at the officials? Come on.
Oh, my bad. Oh, he walked.
He sure did, but he got a 3-pointer instead. Johnson comes off the pick, puts up the three from the top of the key, and I'm like Jason, I thought I heard some baby steps in there.
Yeah, he took 3 big steps, but he knocked down 3 big points too. And it only matters what the referee calls.
8-point game again.
Oh boy.
Way across court. You can't make that. You just can't make that from one corner across court. That's just not a smart decision there, unfortunately.
Well, Trinity Valley's in a crucial point here, I think.
They are. When you're on that 8-point deficit line, yeah, you could go tip the other way for you and not be pretty. And do they have enough energy to wipe out another double-digit lead?
Yeah.
And the Ponies throw it away, so they're going to get out of that one cheap. And Cotton, Panola coach, is just shaking his head.
7th turnover for Panola there. They had 7 all in the first half, so.
You work so hard to get a possession and want to make it count, you wind up throwing the ball away, sometimes with what tennis you'd call an unforced error. Scarver looked at the three. Ihambe is going to put it up. Knocked it down. Oh, he's got a beautiful looking 3-point shot.
He is hot. I'd keep feeding him.
I would too. They'd have to come out on him. He was almost on the bench then, though.
9 points now for Hambe.
We got a 5-point game with 8 minutes left. Got a D up down here. Walker almost comes up with a steal. Oh, that's a nice job by the Cardinals on the volley. Possession's going to stay with the Ponies on this. Great hustle, great job at defense, but just not going to come away with possession. Gilstrap is checking in for Walker.
Right now, I think you've got 3 guys and really 4. You've got Gilstrap, Scarver, Gatson, Ihambe, 4 guys that can really light it up from the outside.
You really do. Gatson's done a great job of penetrating, getting penetration, attacking the goal tonight too. Sometimes that frees that outside up just a little bit.
And clearly been the epitome of an unselfish point guard too. He's had a couple of looks where he could have forced one up and passed it up, and those possessions have turned out to be pretty good for Trinity Valley so far.
They have, yes. Top of the key. Oh, it's a good, pretty jumper there. Kenny Rhymes just knocks it down from the top of the key. 60-53.
One thing we may look for, I don't know, just an untrained eye. Seems like I'm seeing a few moving screens down there by Panola. We'll see if that factors in here after a while. But
well, I thought Gilstrap had come up with a great steal there, but he's going to be called for a foul. It's going to throw Panola into the bonus.
Just to further explain what I'm talking about down there just real quick is you're seeing a lot of the Trinity Valley defenders having to jump over guys that are moving back in their direction, and it may not be intentional moving screens, but that's the effect that's coming out here. So
knocks the first free throw down. Kenny Edwards averaging 11.6 on the season.
13 tonight now.
13 tonight, above his average. You know, we thought this would be a high-scoring game potentially, and it's 62-53. I think it's going to get up into that range where 70s and 80s possibly, unless it's just a complete shutdown here. May not get to 80, but I think we'll be in the 70s here. Ihambe pulls up, baseline jumper, knocks it down. Definitely the hottest Cardinal on the floor when he comes to scoring right now. Having a huge scoring game for the Cardinals.
Last 11 points for Trinity Valley and 11 points in the game now for Hambe.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, he's hot. Well, with 6:48 left in the game, it's 62-55. As we mentioned, the Cardinals will be on the road Saturday going to Jacksonville. Tip-off for the men's game will be 4 o'clock. The women's game starts at 2 p.m. And then they'll both be at home again here next Wednesday in our next webcast. At 5:15, we'll come on with a pregame for the women's game before they play San Jacinto, and then the men will follow. And, of course, that'll be a tough challenge for the Cardinals here on their home floor. And that's after being in Jacksonville on Saturday against the high-scoring Jaguars. I mean, it's just Jason said it earlier, there's just no let-up. There's no rest stops. There's no breathers in this league. And you know that, and that's why it's so important to win at home. You just got to take care of business at home.
Yeah, and that's why this one, you know, with 6:48 left is coming in so crucial. And I always – you know, there's so much hyperbole around sports, and must win is thrown around so much, and I'm certainly not going there. But
right.
You know, you hate to give one up at home, especially when you're in the position you're in now. You want to try to take care of those home games.
Yeah, because if you don't take care of those home games, you've got to go pick some off on the road all of a sudden.
Yeah, and that's not easy here.
Resuming play after the timeout. Ball's going to belong to the Ponies, up 7. Cardinals full court pressure. Had a foul away from the ball. Being charged. Is that on Walker, 34?
I believe it's Scarver, 23.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. That's his second foul.
Interesting foul there.
Jones at the free throw line for the 1-and-1. Misses the first, and Walker has the ball for the Cardinals. Ihambe driving baseline up, got pushed, got fouled. Cardinals won't be in the bonus, though. That's just the 16th foul on the Ponies.
Ihambe has kind of snaked his way down there a little bit lower every time. Might keep him out beyond the arc a little bit.
Inbounds goes to Gatson, feeds the ball down low to Hines. Great move down low, made room and got the bucket to fall. Great job of DeMario Hines.
Nice job by Gatson to get it there too. 7 points now for Hines.
Walker thought he got the block. He's going to be called for the foul on the drive by number 15, Kenny Rhymes.
I would assume that's a okay.
Oh, wow.
Going the other way.
Just based on the reaction, I thought it had gone against the Cardinals, but that's great. That's a turnover and a stop, and now it's got to be followed by points on the offensive end, of course.
Shaping up to be maybe a blocking foul is what I thought. We'll take that.
Gatson moving the ball for the Cardinals, going to attack. Oh, great job of anticipating DeMario Hines.
Wow.
And the shot was blocked. I think Pat Smith is begging for the foul. And the Cardinals got out of the exchange okay.
Sure did.
The ball quickly down the floor to Scarver, and he's going to be fouled by Rhymes. He'll go to the line shooting 2.
Smith calling for an intentional foul there. Sure did look like it wasn't a hammer. He's still calling for the intentional foul. Not going to get it. Call that a good clean. Make sure they don't get their arms up for a layup foul probably more than.
So as this Scarver to the line, he's going to shoot 2. Got to hit these for sure. He was a little anxious when he let that one go.
Sure did.
He was begging with his feet.
9 points now for the Birmingham, Alabama native.
He was really, to start the season, he was really a key to that start, that 10-0 start that the Cardinals got off to as well. He was really lighting it up. That would fall. Cardinals have eased back into within 3. Got to have a stop. Walker defending Rhymes, the ball goes out of bounds, but it goes off of Walker. Still be the Ponies' ball underneath with 5:30 left. They're up 62-59. Had to force up the three-pointer because the shot clock was winding down. Shoots a real bad air ball. I guess there's no such thing as a good air ball, is there?
I would assume that Juncie Cotton nor anyone else on the Panola bench knew that the shot clock had come down that low.
They're so used to playing with that one on the other end.
There's that home court
So there's the
advantage.
stop that the Cardinals had to have. Now suddenly they can make it a one-possession game, or less than a one-possession game where they could tie with a three-pointer. But certainly, great job behind. The putback off the miss by Gatson on the drive, but there again is the penetration by Gatson that made that happen, Jason.
And I don't think necessarily that maybe Darius meant to do that, but it sure did look like.
Oh, great call here on the Cardinals' behalf. Going to be an offensive foul.
I think we got that moving screen.
I think they might have gotten it that time. Yep, you
Yeah.
called it. You've been seeing it, waiting for it to be called. That's a big call. Now the Cardinals got a chance to take the lead.
I tell you what, I think it's happening most trips down the court when they get into their set. Could probably call it every time, but I think that one was pretty flagrant.
Walker, three from the top. Won't fall. Controlled by Jones for the Ponies.
Nobody at home for the rebound there for Trinity Valley.
Sure aren't. You can't let them. Whistle stops action. Foul's going to be on Demario Hines.
Three for Hines.
It's going to send Palachek to the free throw line. Oh, you can't let them get the rebound after they missed a free throw. Going to burn a little clock, get a good shot.
Again, that screen out top by.
Was a nice shot.
Yeah.
Mack drove down to the baseline, put up a one-hander, got the bounce. 64-61, back to a three-point game.
17 for Mack now.
Walker, power move down low, makes it count. 1 point game again. Setting up for a great finish, Jason.
I think so. We knew it would end up this way, I think. Walker puts in his 7th and 8th points of the night.
Hey, great pick by Walker, but I'll tell you, Gatson made that play happen. Walker going to coast, kicks it out of the corner. Scarver, three-pointer. Oh, in and out. Controlled by the Ponies. Oh, there's a golden chance right there for the Cardinals to really take the lead and have momentum. And we have a timeout, Panola.
Could have been a big one. Boy, it could have been a big
could
one.
have been.
Scarver knows it too.
Just had to feel that it was going in when he put it up, too.
Yeah.
Timeout was Panola. Cardinal cheerleaders entertaining.
Well, we've had a little bit of what we've been talking about. We've had a little bit of Martez Walker. We've had a little bit of Mario Hines. We had Maury Hambe than I think we were probably counting on, and that was a good thing. Scored 11 straight points for Trinity Valley to get him back into this game. And
well, he really has been the X factor kind of this
I
game,
think
hasn't
so.
he? I mean, you might not have counted or figured him into the equation, but yet he's right there in the middle of it. And he's back out on the floor here now with 3:27 to go in the game. Got Walker, Ihambe.
had a Cardinal sighting in the nest.
Gatson, Hines, Scarver are on the floor for the Cardinals.
Hambe has earned his time in this game. Pat Smith sticking with him. Here we go. That's a Cardinal in the net. Which we're okay with as long as they don't call goaltending again.
Got a D up here. The Cardinals are from their toes working at it. They know that. Foul's going to go against the Hambe. It's going to be the 10th team foul. It's going to be the double. Both teams will be in the double bonus the rest of the way. And boy, free throws, if they haven't already been huge, they're going to be even bigger now with a 1-point game as we head down the stretch with 3:14 to go.
So many times as Panola works around to the top of the key, as you see Edwards miss that first one.
Yep.
Just a moving blob of players. I guess the referees, and like I said earlier, I'm okay with non-calls, but kind of this moving.
Well, they called it the one time.
Well,
just the one time.
I want it again.
Well. Oh, goes 0 for 2. Rebound is controlled by Hines, and a chance for the Cardinals to take the lead as we approach the 3-minute mark of the game. Oh, the Cardinals just got to figure out a way to win this game. That's just all there is to it.
I think they need to take it back to the hoop.
Ball down low to Hines. Boy, he's just hammered. Woo. That was physical. Going to be fouled. Going to go to the line, shooting 2. Chance to give the Cardinals the lead. Under 3 minutes to go now.
I believe that's 5 on Palachek. It is. He's done.
A little stop if it's into action. Hines got a chance to catch his breath here now. 2 big free throws. Got to make them. They're all going to add up from this point on. It's a close game like this. Got the first one down. We're tied at 64-64 with 2:56 left in the game. In a game the Cardinals just absolutely, positively need to find a way to win.
Hines had just 3 points in the first half. That free throw put him at 10 for the game. Knew he was going to have to be a factor, and here's his chance.
Exactly. Couldn't get the second foul, and we are tied. Three-pointer, got it. Kenny Rhymes knocks it down. 3-point game all of a sudden, 67-64. Well, you absolutely have to D up on the perimeter against Panola.
17 for Rhymes now. That leads all scorers. Golly.
And he's just averaging 10.3 this year. Equalizer, Scarver, no. Tip back, Hines, no. Cardinals are battling for the loose ball. Hines picks it up. Check that. Tim Harrison picks it up. Puts it up and is fouled. Going to get 2 free throws, of which he has to have them.
Good job by Trinity Valley to keep battling for that loose ball because it was a mess down there.
And I know when it was 21-4, you never could foresee it being this close this late in the game, but then the game took on a completely different feel, and you just felt like it was going to wind up being this way. Gets the first one to fall, 67-65. We've had quite a few timeouts called in this game. I'm not sure that Panola can have much more than one, I would think. Pat Smith may have 2 more left. 67-65, 2-point game. Had a steal by Gatson. Puts it up, knocks it in, tied it up. Darius Gatson stole the inbounds pass, took it for the layup to tie us at 67-67. Under 2 minutes, and we are tied, folks. Believe it or not, we are tied after a 21-4 start by the Ponies. Cardinals need a good defensive stand on this possession. Three-pointer, top of the key, no good. Rebound controlled, Gatson tripped. The foul is going to go against Jones, I believe, number 24.
Looked like that one hurt. They are going to call the foul there on Jones. That's going to be 4 by my count, Benny. on Charlton Jones. And Gadsden's going to be going to the line to give Trinity Valley a lead.
Of course, you're not going to pull Jones this late in the game, but boy, that could be big if it were to go into overtime. But you got the double bonus here now, and it's time to just knock down free throws without any hesitation. Darius Gadsden.
Gadsden was 6 of 6 in the first half on the free throw line. Now he's 1 of 4 in the second half.
Oh, Lord. Didn't realize that he had missed that many, but he knocks the first one down, gives the Cardinals the lead. Man, I'm telling you, even the crowd knows how big a game this is for the Cardinals. You can just sense it that this has got a big game feel to it based on, he missed, didn't get the second to fall, got a 1-point game. How about D'ing up, getting a steal, coming down and hitting a three-pointer? Cardinals working on the defensive end. Tim Harrison going against Charlton Jones out front. Cardinals have been working hard on defense. Harrison cuts Jones off.
Nice.
5-second held ball. That's a great job of defense there by Tim Harrison.
And I was watching the shot clock there. They were down to 7 on the shot clock, and they really hadn't had anything developed. Good defensive job by Tim Harrison.
Yeah, that was a great stop there. Now you got to get points. You have to absolutely get points here because you're fixing to be under a minute here.
Well, this could be the longest minute in sports, depending on how we go here.
Could be. See how Gadsden chooses to attack. Will he go on the... Walker's going to attack now. Going to get called for an offensive foul. Ducked his head into him. Yep, that hurts.
And the thing that really hurts is you had 24 seconds left on the shot clock. I'm not sure what the big rush was there, but
Cardinals in their press. Got to be careful and not let somebody spot up for a three down here. Cardinals do have the lead. If they defend, they'll be okay.
Boy, big push down there by Johnson to get space off of Gadsden. Refs didn't see it.
Boy, a great job of Hines going up against Kenny Edwards.
Cardinals need to be careful here.
Foul is going to be on Hines. It's going to send him to the line to shoot 2 free throws. It's going to be Kenny Rhymes. How's Rhymes done on free throws in the game, Jason?
Rhymes, 1 of 2.
1 of 2. Well, we'd take that here if we could get out of that with it. With the Cardinals, we'll have 30 seconds. The shot clock will be off. They can play it for the last shot at home. We are tied. I would think Pat Smith would call a timeout if he hits this one and set up what he wants to do based on whether he's tied or he's going to play for a final shot. He'd make it a one-possession game.
19 points for Rhymes.
Big free throw here, 68-68. Missed it. Rebound is controlled by the Ponies.
Wow.
There's a loose ball. Saved by Gadsden to Hambe, and he slams it home. What a turn of events, and now the Cardinals are up 70-68. The Ponies hurry the ball to the offensive end. Don't let him spot it for the three. It's forced up. Rebound controlled by Hambe, out to Carver. Intentional foul.
Wow.
Foul by... Man, what a turn of events. Johnson missed the three. Cardinals control the rebound. Hambe, they get the ball out, and then Johnson's forced a foul with 10.4 seconds left, and the Cardinals are going to go to the line for 2 free throws and have a chance to ice this game with 10.4 seconds left. D.D. Scarver going to the line. 6'4" freshman out of Birmingham, Alabama. Got a chance here to seal this one for the Cardinals pretty much, Jason, if he knocks both of them down, make it a 2-possession game. First one up, it's in. 71-68. The Cardinals may be about to steal one here. They looked all but lost to start the game, 21-4 deficit. Big free throw. Made it. 72-68. Now here comes the timeout by Pat Smith to set the defense. Great job. Boy, what a comeback by the Cardinals.
11 points for Scarver, and good golly.
Well, the Cardinals folks may be about to steal one here at home. And I say steal one, didn't mean they didn't have a chance. They weren't as good enough to beat Panola. I'm just saying by the start they got off to, they really righted the ship. And, Jason, they did it absolutely on the defensive end.
Yeah, and Darius Gatson. I mean, the guy jumps in there, not afraid to get on the floor. And you hear Coach say that all the time, you got to get on that floor and get that loose ball. He didn't just get on the floor and get the loose ball. He flipped over, passed it to Hihambe. Well, I don't know what Hihambe was doing, but he was in the right place at the right time. I mean, he's over here near the Cardinal bench almost and is able to have an easy run to the slam on the other end. Golly.
I think the way the Cardinals picked up their defense after about the first 7 or 8 minutes into the game, and then I thought Gatson attacking the goal was big. And then, of course, Hihambe just comes out of nowhere and just knocks down the threes and it's had just a career game.
Yeah, absolutely a career game. You know, he's hit his. Of course, we said he had the 11 points straight. Now 13. I imagine that's getting close to a season high for him. I don't know.
Oh, I think easily it is.
Yeah.
Here we go, folks. 10.4 seconds. Panola has the ball under the Cardinals' goal. They're down 72-68 in a game in which they led 21-4 early in the contest. Edwards to inbounds against Cardinal pressure. Token pressure, Tim Harrison.
Oh.
Jones for 3, no good, and that's the ball game. And the Cardinals are going to escape with a nice 72-68 victory in a game they absolutely had to have, Jason, at home.
Yeah, just huge. I mean, just like the first half turned, all of a sudden we saw the second half turn the same exact way. Wow. I mean, that's just a huge win for them. You want it to be easier than that if it could be, but, I mean, it is what it is, and big win for Trinity Valley.
It definitely is. We're going to see if we can get Pat Smith's attention, get him up here for a few closing remarks. Cardinals win this one 72-68. Going to improve to 14-3 on the season, 3-3 in conference play. Just a huge home win for the Cardinals. Had to have it since they dropped 3 on the road and had fallen to 2-3 in league play. Wait to see if we can get Pat to come up here. He is going to be joining us. Let him catch his breath for a minute. We're joined now by Pat Smith, the head basketball coach here at Trinity Valley. And Pat, congratulations on what just turned out to be a great victory that you had to have, really.
Well, just don't ask me to describe how we got it. That was a tough one. I'm going to tell you something. Maybe I watched too much tape on these guys, but I feel like they've got, the last 2 years, 3 years, they've been getting better. But this guy's come in. He had real good teams at Midland. He had great teams at Lincoln Trail. And, man, I tell you what, the more I watched them on tape, I think they're one of the best teams we've played all year. And so it's a huge win for us, Benny.
Well, you start behind, you get in a 21-4 hole early, Pat, and then we were sitting here observing it. It looked like your defensive intensity picked up and got you back in. You got the stops you needed. And then here comes Darius Gatson attacking the goal and Daniel Hihambe just shooting lights out.
Yeah, he's an Energizer bunny. Kid's lost about 40 pounds here. And, he was ineligible first semester, had a 4.0 GPA, got himself eligible. And he's really been a major contributor to us, and hopefully he'll keep getting better. But it's a huge win. Benny, I tell you what, I've done this a couple of times, and it's not any fun. I'm going through this league with one returning. Yeah, I think we're going to get a lot better, but you need to get as many wins as you can get right now.
And of course, Pat, I know you've dropped 3 road games on the conference. Well, that really puts on the pressure on you at home, does it not, to have to get those?
The good news is this year, Benny, we got 10 home games and 9 roads, so maybe we can have a winning record. But that's the funny thing about us. If you look over the years, I'd say that we're definitely over 500 on the road in the league. But we've struggled so far. But, all you had was tonight. This was one game, and this was one we had to win. And, we didn't win quite as easily as the girls did, but we'll take it.
What does it say about your kids, though, Pat, when you do fall into a big hole early at home like that, and they fight back, and they're able to pull it out?
You know what it says? It says a lot, Benny, when you're coming off a game when you scored 47 points. And, I fired our offensive coordinator Saturday night, but I rehired myself about 6 hours later. Okay, I mean that was just a complete abysmal performance. And our kids played hard at Paris. We just didn't play very well.
Yeah.
And we came back, and I did something I don't like to do. We didn't even give them Sunday off. We went twice Sunday. We came back and practiced Monday. We practiced hard yesterday. We went through an hour shoot around, walk through, get ready for today. And I just felt like we really needed a toughness point. And then you get down 21-4 and you think, we don't have any legs. And yet, we seem to be a tough team tonight. And we had to come from behind to win. The only thing we kept telling our guys throughout the game was they had Paris down 29 and Paris came back and got within 3. Right. And we just kept saying, we kept kind of lying to them, telling them, hey, they're grabbing their shorts. Yeah. We're getting them. And maybe our kids bought in, but, I give our assistant coaches a lot of credit because they kept people in and out. And, I thought, Darius Gadsden made, Daniel had the dunk to put us ahead.
Right.
But what an effort play by Darius Gadsden to dive on the floor.
No question. I mean, the kids just wanted to win the basketball game.
We talked all day. It's real easy in this league to get down. And so what you try to do is you try not to have any 2-game losing streaks.
Right.
And so far so this semester at least, not done that. And, we got a Jacksonville team Saturday that's been putting up just unbelievable number of points.
They have, yeah.
120, 140. Our offense was struggling so much. I went up to Coach Landers the other day and wanted to know if we could borrow Caples tonight. But he said he needed her to play, so we had to do with what we had.
Well, you do go on the road Saturday to play Jacksonville. Then you're home again, of course, next Wednesday. Oh, by the way, Sanjak's coming to town. So, I mean.
Benny, I think we're going to be a real good team sometime. We're not yet. But we're trying to get there. And tomorrow we're going to work at getting better. And I've talked to our kids about 3 things: accountability and work ethic. Number 2 is we improve every day. And number 3, we try to get ready to win the next game. And so we won tonight. I'm not going to be like the guy from Auburn. That was ridiculous, I thought, where he said he had 6 hours to enjoy the national championship. We're going to enjoy this tonight, and tomorrow morning we will start thinking.
There you go. Well, thanks, Pat, for stopping by. I know you want to go visit with your kids, but it was just a great game, great comeback for the Cardinals.
I want to tell you how much we appreciate Dr. Forgy and all you all allowing these games to be webcast so our players can have their people see them play.
Oh, it's a wonderful
and,
thing.
On top of that, I'm sure my parents and my sister and my cousin Kate and everybody that's watching the game, they're still up in Kentucky, had a good time on it too.
Well,
but the only thing I hated was my wife informed me tonight when I was walking out that she thought she just might stay home and watch it on the computer.
That's Pat Smith, folks, the head coach of the Cardinal basketball team. Won tonight, a big win, 72-68. They go on the road Saturday to play Jacksonville. We'll be back with you next Wednesday night against San Jacinto for a doubleheader at 5:15, starting pregame for the women. And we hope you'll join us then. And listen, folks, when they roll the credits, I hope you'll notice all the names that go by because like we talked earlier, there's a bunch of dedicated and talented people that make this all happen. Jason and I just get to kind of sit out front and be the front men, but it's not about us. It's about those guys, and we appreciate them so much. So until next Wednesday night when we return for the Cardinals doubleheader against San Jacinto, this is Benny Rogers bidding you good night from Cardinal Gym.